The last chapter in Introduction to Cybersecurity is developed to have students start thinking about, is cybersecurity a field that they might want to look at? This should be a very short recording due to the fact that it's more information than anything else. So as we look at it, you're going to notice it's only got one section, 5.1, Cybersecurity Education and Careers. So the first thing they talk about is legal issues in cybersecurity. So if you're studying cybersecurity, we have to be responsible with our own skills when we're looking at the personal. So they need to realize that. Just because you can does not mean you should. Most hackers leave tracks wherever they know it or not, and these tracks can be followed back to the hacker. So that's something students need to remember. As far as corporate's concerned, most countries have cybersecurity laws in place. In some cases, you can break cybersecurity laws by doing your job. It is the company that may be punished and you could lose your job. In other cases, you could be prosecuted, fined, and possibly sentenced. So students need to realize that there are laws on cybersecurity and there is consequences if you break the laws. And notice there's even international laws. And most countries do have some laws in place for cybersecurity breaches. And then what students need to realize too is that even though it may be legal, it may still be unethical. And then when you look at the corporate ethical issues, notice there's some organizations that have codes for corporations. And notice the flowchart says, is it legal? Notice it says either not sure, no, or yes. Students need to know what their company policies and principles are of ethical behavior when it comes to cybersecurity. Worry about what it will do to the company and the shareholders. What if everybody did this? And notice it says, am I sure that I would be comfortable if I read about it on the front page of the newspaper? It says if your answer to any of the questions was no, then do not do such things to others. And one of the things that they use in the reading, it says, would I want to discover that someone has hacked in my computer and altered images in my social network sites? Would I want to discover that an IT technician who I trusted to fix my network told colleagues personal information about me that was gained while working on my network? So there might not be a law about that, but that would not be a good thing to do. When you're going through this course, this particular section of the curriculum, they will have hot links to go to the Cybersecurity Institute, a hot link for ISSI, and a hot link for the AITP. So they will have some hot links here. And they will also have some information about Cisco's ethical business conduct, and you can send them there, and they can read about Cisco's cybersecurity codes. Lots of cybersecurity jobs out there. That's the reason we are hoping that students will look at these jobs. There are some sites that you can go look for jobs, so that's a great activity for students. Go to IT Job Match or Monster or Career Builder and look for cybersecurity jobs. What they're going to find when they get there is there are different types of cybersecurity jobs. There's penetration testers, which are also known as ethical hackers or are white hats. security administrators, network administrators, and system administrators. And when they say security administrator, those portions are becoming more wide in the field right now. And what you're going to see is there might be different levels of security administrators, and they might have a little bit different job duties depending on which part that you're actually concentrating on. Again, this is a review from some of the other presentations that I have done. This will take you to the pathways for Cisco Academy coursework, and there is one just for security. These are some of the courses that I think would lead you to a career in cybersecurity in Cisco Academy. So notice we're starting with this one that we're just talking about, Introduction to Cybersecurity. There is information on IT Essentials. There's information in here about Linux operating systems, where you can learn some information about cybersecurity, hardware. So we talked about how we have to secure hardware as well. So there's information in there about that. Networking Essentials is an introduction to networking course. These two courses, which may be renamed, we're not quite sure what they're going to be renamed to, but the coursework is being updated. These two courses together do a good job of mapping all the networking courses together. If you study Introduction to Networks, you would not need the Networking Essentials because it would just be too much overlap. Networking Essentials is designed for a person who's not interested in computer networking certifications, where Introduction to Networks is the first course in the CCNA. CCENT, this particular certification, will expire for Cisco Academy students in the summer of 2020. There is a Cybersecurity Essentials course that you have all the recordings for. I do recommend that you look at those. Even if you're not going to teach this course to students, it will take you further, deeper into some of the topics that we have just started on in this course. Linux Essentials is a beginning Linux course, but there is a pre-course to that that is smaller and less intense called Linux Unhatched that you could also use with students. Because Linux is the operating system that is used by many network administrators when they're doing cybersecurity work. Python is a programming language. It's definitely an optional course for cybersecurity experts, but as we work more in the cloud, could be helpful. And then CCNA Cybersecurity Operation is our advanced course. So please tell your students about this course, because if they decide that they want to study cybersecurity and they are going to a technical college, community college, a four-year college, this might be a course they want to look for. And why would they want to look for that is notice how it takes and it studies the operating system fundamentals first, then it gets into the networking fundamentals, then the cybersecurity fundamentals, and finally, when you look at cybersecurity operations, this is where they get into using the tools such as Snort and Wireshark. Here's some more URLs that you could jot down that might be helpful, especially if you're sharing things with parents. And here is my email address again. And this is my website, just in case you have any questions about Meta Solutions, Cisco Academy Support Center, and Instructor Training Center. And here is my US phone number if needed. And that concludes this series of videos. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Thank you.